Well, good afternoon and good morning to those in Pacific time, and welcome to the Controllers Council webcast on ASC 842 compliance, achieving compliance with limited resources. My name is Neil Brown, and I'm the Executive Director of Controllers Council. I'd like to welcome all of you today and also welcome experts from Easy Lease, Baker Tilly, and Lease Accelerator on this exciting and timely topic on 842 compliance. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our experts, and Colleen is going to introduce herself and others.
Thank you, Neil. Appreciate it. So my name is Colleen Tigas. I'm actually the General Manager of Easy Lease, which is a lease accelerator company. And I like to call myself a certified lease geek. I'm excited to be here to talk about ASC 842. I doubt that many of you are excited to hear about it, but it's something that you absolutely have to hear about. So I'm glad we get to spend an hour together today. And I'm going to let the other gentlemen who are with me introduce themselves. So first, Michael, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, thanks, Colleen. This is Michael Keeler. I'm founder and CEO of Lease Accelerator. I'm too very excited to be here today to talk about ASC 842 compliance with my esteemed colleagues. And, we service and take care of and support corporate controllerships. And so we have hundreds of customers all across the U.S., North America, and around the world. And with our chief customer officer, I talk to about 3 or 4 corporate controllers, assistant controllers, chief accounting officers a week to find out what they're thinking, how they're doing, how we're serving them. And, I've learned a lot over the years from them about how they want to comply. And I hope to share some of that with you today.
Thanks, Michael. And Paul, did you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Paul Dunn. I'm a partner with Baker Tilly. Baker Tilly, for those of you who may not know, is a CPA and audit tax consulting firm. I'm a consulting partner out of the Dallas office. Baker Tilly is the 9th largest accounting consulting firm in the U.S. We provide audit tax consulting services for our clients within the CFO advisory practice where I practice. We house our financial accounting advisory services group, which focuses on all new pronouncements coming out of the FASB. And of course, that has dealt with ASC 606, the new revenue recognition procedures, CECL pronouncements, and now, of course, the ASC 842, the lease accounting pronouncements. And so we're helping clients deal with that, both the public and private clients dealing with it. Public companies have dealt with it, and now the private companies are dealing with a lot of the lessons learned from the public filings. And so happy to be with you today.
Great. Thank you, Paul. So if we want to take a look at the agenda, if we want to advance the slides to take a look at the agenda, that would be great. Not sure if we're
it's the pedal on the right.
Yeah, it is.
Pedal on the right.
So while we're waiting for that, I'll actually just talk about the agenda.
I did advance it, so can you see it now?
Well, so the agenda today at a high level, right? We're talking about compliance on with limited resources, and I really think this is a very timely topic for everybody on this call. Everybody who would be associated with the Controllers Council. One of the things that we have found in the hundreds of companies that we've worked with around compliance, I think the one thread that has been the exact same with every single one of them, is the fact that nobody has enough resources, right? So everybody's trying to make do with resources they have or budget for additional resources. So that's where sort of the seed of this came from. So today what we're going to do is we are going to, and thank you, Neil, for bringing that up. Today what we are going to do is we're going to talk about the deadlines. We're going to talk about what's required for compliance, right? We're going to talk about the kinds of resources that we've seen that are required, how those play into the ongoing close process under ASC 842, and then talk through some options of how to make do with what will inevitably be, limited resources. So before we start into this, we're going to do our first poll question. I think that'll get launched here. There we go. So our first poll question, just kind of get level set here. Have you started your lease accounting compliance project? So if we want to launch that so we can get some answers. So, here are your options. Yes, we've identified our lease portfolio. Yes, we've chosen lease accounting software. Yes, we've identified people who might be involved in it and selected a partner. Yes to all of the above, or no, I'm still in denial. So be interesting to see what we get from these questions. I'm always a little afraid that we're going to get a few more in no than should be, but let's look at the response.
I love the no, I'm still in denial. I love that.
Yeah, I know. So this is actually a very common thing. It's not surprising that a lot of people are still in denial. But I love seeing that 40% of the people here have actually identified their lease portfolio. Like understanding your lease portfolio, understanding the scope of compliance, understanding the scope of the leases is, that's like a big first step. So I think it's great that we have a lot of people who are already getting out there and really looking at their lease portfolio. But of course, we still have a lot of people who are in denial. And so as we think about that in denial, let's move on to the next slide, and I will I'll lead in here to try to get these other gentlemen talking. So